Hey, what up? So it's Saturday. I just finished up my first 2.5 hours of DoorDash. I think it's pretty cool to make a little extra money while I am working on my strength and conditioning business. So I'm going to be doing this every single day for the next week and working anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. And I'm going to be kind of tracking that, and I'm going to tune in each day, and we're going to see what happens after doing DoorDash for 1 week for about 2 to 3 hours every single night. And we'll find out, is it worth it? Is it worth doing? Maybe there's other better ideas that you could do, but I think it's a pretty cool concept how you can just start the time whenever you want, and you'll be able to just start making a little bit of money. It's pretty fun. I just kind of chill, listen to music, and go and drive and pick people up. Or not pick people up, it's not Uber, it's deliver food. And you just pick up the food and then go and deliver it to them. And it's not that bad. So I did the first night tonight. Let's see what happens over the next 6 days. I'll tune in with you soon. All right, so day 2, it's Sunday now. And I played some football with some buddies, and we played a football game. Unfortunately, we lost the game, but more things to work on and just continuing to get better as an athlete. So then we went to one of our boys' brewery where they had some amazing tasting beers and alcohol, where we partied up a little bit. Not too much. I only had a couple drinks within the span of like 2 hours or 3 hours. And then I got into my car and I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend some time here and do some DoorDash and get it in today. So day 2 is down. I did about 2.5 hours. I made about the same, maybe actually slightly less. Definitely wasn't as good today, but I also started a little bit earlier, which is really interesting because I think you get more of like the peak time. I mean, I'm here in Long Island, and in my area, it can be quite busy as far as like restaurants and such. There's a lot in the area, so people were probably picking up more often now than they were maybe somewhere else. So I definitely have that as a benefit. Kind of thinking about it more and more, it's not bad. I would say it's better than just like working in like a grocery store as a registered person, like as an example job, because you get to drive around. It's a little bit more freedom. You probably walk away with like 20 an hour so far, so can't complain too much. Gas obviously runs it up. It adds miles on your car, but not as much as people think. One long drive you could make, if you're talking like if you drive somewhere for like 2 hours, you'll probably add up a lot of miles. But instead, if you actually just do these short little drives, you actually make some money. It's really not that bad. And it's nice too because as an example today, I was able to just go, you know what, I'm going to go for a few hours and I'm going to go just see how long it takes me. And after like a couple hours, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to finish up right now. It's my last drive. Did it, and then I finished up for the day and I made a little bit of money. And now going into the evening time, I'm going to do some stuff for my business, and then I'm going to get to sleep. So day 2 down, and let's get into day 3. So it is now day 3. I'm doing actually the lunch hour now. I started off at 12. It's like almost 2 o'clock. I'm probably going to do one more delivery, and then that's going to be it. The first hour was really good. I made like $29 in the first hour, which is pretty dope. This hour is probably going to look like somewhere in like the mid 20s. So overall, not bad. Lunch hour has been treating me well. People are tipping nice, which is good. This kind of goes if you are somebody that gets these delivery driver apps, please tip people. I've always tipped people because my mom's a waitress, and we were very familiar with the serving industry. I always tip waiters because I believe that the service provider, the person that's not really owning the company but is actually doing the work, is usually getting pretty fucked as far as like how much money they make. So tips is how most people make money. So if you're doing these delivery driver apps, like, tip people. And I actually skip deliveries. Here's a good tip if you're trying to make more money. I skip the ones that are like $3, $4, $5 because you can tell that the people aren't actually tipping. So if they're not tipping, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to spend 20 minutes doing a $4 delivery when I could do 20 minutes doing a $9, $10, or $11 delivery, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, make sure you tip. You probably do your jobs faster. You'll get your food faster, and be strategic with how many jobs that you do and what jobs that you do, and don't be afraid to skip because there's really no penalty. So that's day 3. Let's get on to day 4. So it's actually a little bit later in the day on day, 3? So we didn't jump to day 4. I actually ended up doing another delivery. It took me like 30 minutes and I did an $18 because the people tipped like a lot. So I decided to just turn it on while I was eating some food, and I was like, if a big job comes in, I'll do it. And it was like a double at the same place, deliveries to 2 people that were like right next to each other. So I was like, fuck it. Got an extra $18 for a half hour, so killing it. Guys, this was, I believe it's Tuesday, so day 4. And today was the most unbelievable day of DoorDash. First hour, I hit a PR of hitting like $35 profit the first hour. We're getting a hurricane tropical storm here, and people were being very generous and they were tipping a lot. So I was able to get a really good hour, but I was fine up until the point where we get the Chipotle order. And at the Chipotle is 2 separate orders. One, I get like a very large tip, and the second one, I didn't get any tip. It was just a delivery fee. And what happened was I went and delivered the first Chipotle, and then I went to the second place, and I get to like down the block, and the entire block is flooded. Literally, the water was up to my tire. So I was like, nah, B, I am not driving my car down that. It's not happening. So I tried texting, I tried calling, and the person must have been like some 12-year-old kid. He's just like, please get here, I'm hungry. And I'm like, hey, I can't get there because of the... But like, obviously they're not understanding. Like, they're not conceptually understanding the predicament that I'm in. So that's why my assumption is that they're 12. And I tried calling, but I couldn't get anything. So I assume that it's just 12. So they're like, please come. And I'm just like, you know what? There's trees about to fall on my car. I tried to go into the water, and I was like, yo, fuck this. I ain't getting stuck for no fucking $4 delivery. Sorry for all the cursing, by the way. I think it's just really funny. But, yeah, so I left. I turned my location settings off. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. I'm going to make sure I'm safe. And that's it. Like, I don't know what else to do. I tried to cancel the order. I tried to contact DoorDash Delivery, and I literally couldn't get a hold of anybody. I couldn't get into contact with anybody, so I said, screw it. I just turned my location settings off, drove home, and I decided to eat the Chipotle. And then just to finish off the note, I want to talk about this Chipotle order for a second. The Chipotle order was chips and guac in a bowl. And in the bowl, it was a veggie bowl with guac, white rice, cheese, and sour cream. And that's it. I was so disappointed. I get this bowl of fucking cheesy sour cream. And that was the bowl. That was it. And I'm like, why is there no meat or beans? And there was so much sour cream, I didn't even want it. I didn't even want to add my own meat into it. I literally just dipped the chips into it. I ate the chips and the guac, and I just threw it out. So I didn't even get a free meal. Total waste of time. It was like 40 minutes of my time wasted trying to figure out a solution and eventually getting home to a bowl of sour cream. So it started off great. Probably like one of my best days. And then it just died down. So maybe tomorrow will be a bit better. We'll see. All right, DoorDash. I'll turn this down. DoorDash day 5. I just did 1 hour. I only made $18.25. It was the worst. And this was done a little bit earlier. This was the earliest day I've done the DoorDash. I think I started at like 10 o'clock, and now I'm ending up back home around like 11:15, right? This was a really crappy day. All the tips were like very minimal. I skipped a bunch of deliveries, and I really wasn't getting anything good. Things were far. Fortunately enough, the last job I did, it was 2 deliveries at Chipotle for $11, which usually one delivery at Chipotle is $11, which is funny how that works. And now all of a sudden 2 deliveries is $11 because people just weren't tipping today. They just weren't, I guess, I don't know. They just didn't feel like they should. Peak pay was off, which if you're not familiar with it, DoorDash has a peak pay where if there's low dashers and there's a lot of orders, they will pay more, which I always feel is great because it's just extra money. And then depending on the time of day, and I think just depending on the mood and the energy of people, they will tip more. And then, I did my hour, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut my losses and I'm going to return to doing some things that I want to do in my business and in my world, right? And I think that what's really important about this is to use DoorDash as a way for you to make some extra money while you have other things that you're working on. Don't just think of DoorDash as your career, because it's not. It's another dead-end job. It's like anything. It's just a convenient way to make some extra money so you can support your livelihood while you build your dreams. And that's what DoorDash should be about. And I have a pretty busy day today doing some filming for my businesses. I was working this morning on it. I woke up at 5:30 and I wanted to just make a little extra money with the DoorDash. I wanted to commit to trying to do it every single day, even if it's only an hour, just doing it every day for the next 7 days to really get my experience. And I would like to do more of it, of course, after the 7 days, because I think it is nice to do while building my businesses, to be making extra money. So that's just something to think about, guys. Like, there should be other things in your life that you're working on, not just doing DoorDash. That's not what the point of this is. The point of it is to just make some extra money while you work on stuff. So that's the main focus. Only an hour today. I got some other stuff going on. Tomorrow I'm going to be out of state the entire day, so I don't know if I'm going to even be able to get to day 6. But regardless, I'll catch up with you tomorrow if I do wind up going. Otherwise, I'll catch up with you in day 7. All right, guys, so it's day 7, and day 6 I unfortunately missed because I was out of state and I winded up never being able to DoorDash. I actually wanted to try DoorDashing in a different state, but we just never got the chance to do anything. So it's day 7, and what I decided to do was just try to do it as long as I can, because I missed yesterday and I want to just finish up the final day and try to make as much money as possible, and then we can calculate all the active hours and see what's up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The only problem is I lost my wallet. I can't find it, and it's annoying because I have about a quarter tank of gas left, so we'll see if I can find it before the gas goes up. So, on my face, what the fuck? Anyway, so, so weird. Anyway, so I'll let you guys know how this day goes. All right, guys, so it's a couple hours later, and I'm done. I have stuff to do, and I'm about to go meet up with some family. So overall, the total of what happened was about 14 hours of dashing over the past 7 days. I made about $281, but of course, we need to factor in for gas and mileage on the car. I spent about $30 on gas over the week in relation to the miles driven when I was actually door dashing. So in total, it was only $250, $175 or something along those lines, and that comes out to a little bit under $18 an hour. So it's not too bad. Door dashing definitely has its perks. You'll be able to just start whenever you want, and there's no bosses, so you don't really need to get nagged by anybody. You can just play music, listen to podcasts, or listen to audiobooks in your car, and it's pretty enjoyable and relaxing. The downside of it is, if you really think about it, 18 an hour is pretty shit. You're just driving around in your car, and it can be quite boring, and it kind of feels shitty just making 18 an hour driving around your car. I mean, this really puts a lot of focus and attention on me to get more clients into my business, so that way I can make more money to financially support myself. So what I do is fitness coaching. I help people lose weight and get in shape, and I help them make lifestyle changes, so that way they don't need to give up all the, they don't need to go on diets or special little workout programs. You can live pain-free, and I show you guys how to do that. So if you're interested and you want to help me stop door dashing while also getting in the best shape of your life, let me know down below. But other than that, that sums up the week. Love you guys. Peace.